Hey there friends, Frugal Green Girl again, and I'm actually really excited to share with you my method on how I meal plan the SMART way. SMART is actually an acronym for the 5 steps it takes to put together your meal plan in this way, and honestly I think anyone could benefit from these tips because it saves a lot of money, makes things a whole lot more efficient to make sure we're getting the things that we need and not the things we don't, etc. It saves a lot of time because you won't have to be taking those mid-week trips to the grocery store for forgotten items or other things we'll need for a meal that maybe we didn't remember to get or we planned later on. You know, it can help save time from daily decisions on what do you want to make today, you know, that whole 15 minutes of honey, what do you want and what do the kids want, and I don't know, figuring it all out and that whole thing. So you can save a lot of time, you know, in both of those ways. It can help eliminate all the frustration that comes with that, you know, trying to figure out what you're going to make each and every day. It'll help eliminate food waste. And then it can also make it to where, you know, you have a lot easier time doing things. So honestly, again, I think everyone will benefit from this. So let's start with number 1. Step number 1 is the S, and that is to start with the fridge. The first thing we're going to want to do when we go in here is to look for things that need to get used, because we want to plan our meals around what we have in here already and needs to get used. Because by planning something around what we already have, we're going to again help to eliminate that food waste, keep the stuff in here from going bad. So take note, whether it's the old-fashioned way with pen and paper or with some kind of a fancy, you know, phone or whatever, you want to take note of what you have that needs to get used. And while we're in here, we also want to look for stock or staple items that we use regularly, and we want to make sure that we have enough of those items. So say you know you need or use a certain amount of milk, make sure that you put on the list how much you're going to use for that week. Say you use a full stick of butter. Well, usually it comes in a container with about 4 sticks or so we don't buy it all that regularly. That could easily be forgotten. Make sure you have a stick of butter for the next upcoming week, that sort of thing. So look for whatever it is that your family typically uses in a week, and make sure you have enough of that item. So anything that's running low or that you don't think you'll have enough of for the week, write down on that list, and then again, take note of the things that need used, because we're going to put together our meals based on those things in a second. The second step would be the M, and that's to move on to your pantry, your garden, or your freezer. Typically, these 3 places don't have things that are as pressing for us to use, although maybe garden could be, but it depends on what we have. But look at what's going to be coming up in the next week, what's going to be becoming ripe in the fridge, or excuse me, in the pantry, the items that we have available to us. And already you may be already seeing, you know, meals that you could put together. You could notice you had some ground beef in the freezer, and then you have, you know, some taco shells in the fridge. Ah, there you go, a taco meal, that sort of thing. So look in your pantry to see what you have available to you to help put together those meals again. And then the second thing we're going to want to do while we're in this pantry or freezer is to look for the stock items again that you use regularly to make sure that you have enough of those. If you know your family uses a certain amount of crackers, make sure you have, you know, the amount that you're going to need, put those on the list. If you know your family eats, you know, 2 bags of chips a week or whatever, make sure that you put on the list that you're going to need those, etc. So the things that you're going to use regularly, we want to make sure we put on the list again. So step number 3 is going to be to add your schedule to your shopping list. Or excuse me, your meal plan. This is actually really important because this is one of the number 1 ways why people have a meal plan that fails, or they end up actually going out to eat on a night because they end up busy, and then they're like, oh, we'll just hit a drive-through or something like that on the way home. Well, if you actually add your calendar, basically essentially what you have coming up in the next week, to your meal plan, we're going to make meals around what we have going on that week. So say you have something with some friends a certain night, and I know that that day all I have to do is bring some sort of a side dish to their barbecue. Well, I'm going to put together some sort of list of the things I'm going to need to put together that, you know, item for the barbecue. Or maybe say you have, you know, a day where you're going to be staying out late. Like right here, we have something from 5 to 7, and typically I'll start dinner at 6 and we'll eat at 7. Well, if we were at the pool all the way until 7 o'clock in the evening, the kids are going to come home really hungry. So starting something at 7 and then waiting until I actually make something and then finally eating it, they're going to melt down. And so that's definitely a day we could experience some kind of pressure to end up eating out that night. So on that day, I'm actually going to make sure to plan something I can make easily in, say, a crock pot or, you know, the sun oven or something like that. So as soon as we come home, we already have something done. completely eliminating that temptation to eat out, because we don't need to eat out on our way home or grab something on the way home. We know the instant we come home, we've already got something planned to eat. Does that make sense? So whatever it is you have on your, calendar to do, say it's a night when, or a days when you're going to be busy, we want to plan things that are going to be easier on those days. Or say you're doing something that's hard work and that day you're going to probably come home really tired. Well, maybe you should plan something, again, easier for those days. So whatever it is you have going on, we're going to try and plan meals for those days to make things easier for you and for your schedule. So add your schedule to your meal plan. It's really important. The next thing we're going to want to do is to read the ads. That's the R. So the thing you're going to want to do with this is to look through and find the items that we need to fill in with our meals with the other stuff we already have. The stuff we need to use, the stuff we have available, and then we're going to use the stuff that's on sale to fill in again with those items that we need to put together those meals. So if you're having trouble figuring out what kind of meals you could use with the items that you have available or need to use, or if you just like to be more adventurous, there's a couple of websites I would recommend trying. You can do All Recipes or Food.com. Both of those have the ability to plug in specific ingredients, and it'll actually bring up, side dishes or main dishes or meals or whatever that use those items. So you can help make sure, again, to use the things that you need to use up, the things you have available, the stuff you have growing in your garden, and even try some new things that you may not have tried before and find some new recipes that, you might really like or enjoy. So this can help make it, again, easier so that you don't have to sit and rack your brain to figure out what we can put together, or even be more adventurous and try some new things. So put together your meal plan. By now you should have it all put together. All of the items that we're going to be using for the whole week, whether they're pantry or fridge items, these types of things, they should all be on there together. And then all of your meal plans should be put out and on your calendar so that the things that you have will be already figured out. And then, of course, the last thing, number 5, is the T, and that's to take that shopping list to the grocery store. So we get all the stuff on that list, we come home, we relax, feel good about having everything in place so that we don't have to worry about it. We can enjoy the easy week that we have available again to us for this next week, because we don't have to stress about it all or anything like that. So just a quick recap. S would be to start with the fridge and to look for the items that we need and the staple items. Number 2, M would be to move on to the pantry, look for what we have available, the pantry, freezer, and garden, Look for the stuff that we have available, and then stock items that we want to make sure we have again. A would be to add your schedule to your meal plan. Number 4, the R would be to read the circulars, the ads, and then fill in all the rest of those meals, make sure everything is put together, stock up on the things that are on sale. And then T, take that shopping list to the grocery store. So feel free to share this with anybody who maybe complains about spending too much money, or somebody who, feels like they eat out more than they should. This sort of thing can maybe help them to put together their meal plans, eat a little bit healthier, save money, have a little bit less of a stressful life, and just have everything work out better. So again, feel free to share with anyone you feel might benefit from it. So I'm Frugal Grain Girl. Hopefully this was helpful to you, meal planning the smart way. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.